Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 21st of March. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is a weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So on the list this week we have ATC, Woodside, Nearmap, Seek and Bluescope. So if you have a request, make sure you email it through. Make sure you share this video on social media. Also make sure you've signed up to our weekly newsletter. And just remember, any advice here is general only. So we'll start off with ATC. This is a weekly chart. So we'll just zoom in for the last couple of years. Looking quite bullish at the moment. So we've had this sort of rounded low at the end of last year, and then a series of very bullish weekly candles. The moves are quite impulsive. We've got the crossing here on the MACD, on the weekly MACD. So far everything looks pretty good with this. There's really nothing wrong with the way it's trading, so I don't really have much to add, to be honest. Just looking at possible resistance, I mean this seems like an obvious level here, sort of near about 15.5 cents. So for the moment I think this one will just continue heading higher. Woodside Petroleum, so this is one that we were bullish on at the end of last year. We could see the nice reversal here on the weekly candle, and then a very nice move higher over the next several weeks. Now if we just move over to a daily chart, we can see here is where it went ex-dividend after the great run up, and initially it held on to that dividend really well, but it started to break down a week or two ago. So sort of broke support here just above $35. And at the moment it's sort of struggled to get back up to that level. So for the moment it looks like if it can't make a proper move higher through here, if it can't hold on to these levels, I think we will see Woodside drift back. I think there's strong support around 33. If I saw it anywhere near 33, I'd be happy to step in and buy it. Okay, Nearmap. So we'll look at the weekly chart. Obviously a fantastic run up, especially since the beginning of this year, $1.50 to $3 there, so a doubling in the share price. Getting the first signs that we might have a top in place. So we've got this very nice move up here, bit of price rejection here. Usually when you see this sort of price rejection, when you get this kind of weekly candle, you do need to see a bit of confirmation the week after, because for example we had some price rejection here, but then the shares kept heading higher. But for the moment we've got price rejection, and then for this week price action has been fairly negative. So instead of getting back on with it, we've actually started to tip. So all of this is potentially a reversal here. So and moving to the daily chart, yeah, you could see it just obviously giving up some of those recent gains. I think the key point would be this prior low near 250. So if it should have support around here, but I think if it breaks that, then instead of getting another higher low, you're getting a lower low, and that would be potentially the start of a downtrend. So look, early signs, but yeah, just early signs that you need to keep an eye on this one, I think. All right, moving on to Seek. We'll go to the weekly chart. The weekly chart looks a bit negative. We've got this sort of double top here within a downtrend. So usually if a stock's downtrending, makes a double top, that can be quite negative, and then it falls away. So at the moment we've got this double top, the rejection near $19. If I move to the daily chart, doesn't look so bad. There's a nice sort of gap up here. Price action's been contained within this candle, and it seems to be sort of edging higher while the overall market's been a little bit indecisive. So a little bit of a positive, but I can't get bullish until it clears $19. We may well just see it edge up here, and then a bunch of selling comes in and kicks it back down. So fairly neutral, I think. We need to see $19 get breached first. And the next one finally is Bluescope. So we'll move to the weekly chart. So this is one that we put a note out on a few weeks ago, so we quite like it. So starting out at the beginning of this year, you've got this sort of breakaway gap, and then the shares basically track sideways with some good support anywhere near $11. buy signal on the MACD, and then another gap up after the results. So you've got like a couple of gaps up here, which is quite positive. Last couple of weeks has been, I guess, fairly neutral, so indecisive price action, not too different to the market, to be honest. And that's the daily chart there, so just a bit soft at the moment. I think that there'll be strong support sort of back near this $13 region. As long as it can hold there, I think we've got potential to see it head higher, and ultimately, I think you'd be targeting this sort of obvious level around this $16 mark. Okay, well that's it for this week. So if you have a request, make sure you email it through, and make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter.